Mm, Good. All right. Welcome. I'm Lori Rian from the Omnidimensional Mystery School in Oceanside, California, and I'm really happy to be your hostess for the next 4 weeks for this incredible class that we call Align with Your Soul's Purpose. Today is April 2nd, 2020, and we'll be meeting every Thursday for 4 weeks at this time. So the link that you have that you've used to sign into the class, you'll be using that each week to sign in again, and I'll send it to you at least once more so you can save it. And then there will be a recording that will be available to you afterwards for the people that can't be here physically, or that anybody that would like to revisit the teachings from tonight. So for those that have never worked with me before, I do all of my classes and teachings in what I call sacred space. And that's part of my teaching to you, is to do your spiritual work and even your personal work whenever you can in sacred space. It makes a big difference in the vibration and in the manifestation of all that you seek and all that you want. So let's move our energy into our heart. Let's surrender the mind, moving within, and taking some deep breaths and just relaxing now. This is your time. This is the time you've set aside to really feel the importance of you, the divinity within you, the expanded, illuminated, seeking human that is truly a creator God, just finding their way, each of us together now. And more importantly than ever during this special time that we're experiencing, where we have some challenges on the planet, to come together with open hearts, because together we really do make a difference, and the oneness of what we can create will expand out to the world and help others. So we open now to the flowing love of source energy. We connect to the energies of Mother, Father, God. And we begin by grounding, by going down into the earth. And if you haven't done that before, it's like dropping an anchor. You just feel your energy, and you feel, as you drop your anchor down into the earth, you feel the love that you have for Mother Earth, for the planet, for nature. This is that beautiful feminine spirit that nourishes us, and of course, really is our birth mother. And when you reach a place, you can just stop the falling of the energy and just ground yourself there. It's like almost like take a seat on a beautiful rock and look around, see the beauty of the nature that is in that particular location that Mother Earth chooses to show you, and feel loved. And let the energy now from the grounding experience come up through your feet, up into your legs, and up into the solar plexus, building up a ball of light behind the navel, and bringing that light now as it continues to surge into your body up into the heart space. Nice. And we'll allow that to continue to gather and build. But when you ground, one of the really cool things that happens is your crown chakra opens up. It's like a big, V. So let's send our energy up now through the crown, seeking the sun. The sun, of course, being what we consider the father energy, source energy, prime creator, all comes through the sun and nourishes the earth, and of course you, these beautiful solar codes. So begin to absorb that and let that flow into your body, directly down through the crown into the heart. And take another deep breath. Nice. And from this place now, we really are seeking what we call unity balance. The more popular name for it now is 0 point energy. And from this place of unification, where we're really breathing the earth energy, we're really breathing the sun's energy. The third point of attraction in understanding triangulation is how to stay in your heart throughout the day, not come back to the mind. The mind has a purpose, but it isn't this. It isn't the creative codes or the decision making. Think of it as a big computer, a storage data bank, a radio transmitter. But it is absolutely not the place to make decisions from or to give your life to your mind. In fact, the less thinking we do as spiritual being and the more feeling we do, absolutely more successful it will be, and the more joy we'll feel. So tonight, we're going to talk a lot about the operating instructions that were given to you when you were born, and that is, of course, the heart. Feel that. And from that place now, we extend out to honor the directions. And wherever you are, just take note of where the south is and either stand and face the south or just, give your attention to the south. And we're going to call in some archangels that are greatly going to assist the vibration of your home tonight. And of course, your life if you choose to continue to work with them. So let's summon Archangel Uriel now. Uriel is so amazing. When I bring in the column of light on the southern perimeter of my property, for me, it's kind of gold, kind of peachy, orangish gold, beautiful. And Uriel is the epitome of working with you, I think, with the word forgiveness and the word compassion. And so those are such important words in our life. And we thank him. And we say the south is now open. Now we turn to the west, and we're going to summon the great Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel, I would have to say, is one of my very, very best friends, even in my personal life, because his job is to assist us in communication. And as a teacher and as a telepath, and as an animal communicator, I'm always seeking deeper, more profound ways to communicate with the other beings on the planet and with angelics. And it really opens us up to have a relationship with an angel that can assist you in that way. So take a moment to really embrace this great being. Even throughout the ages, when we look at religious history and see the Bible, Gabriel is always the angel that appears to be the burning bush, or he speaks as God. Master communicator for both verbal and nonverbal communication. And we are grateful. And the west is open. And now to the north, we summon the great and mighty Archangel Michael. So many of you know he's always shown with the shield and a sword and as a protector. And there's nothing wrong with that image. I'm sure he'll play that part for you. But in this class, he'd like you to go higher to where there's no need of protection, where we're all peaceful. And we've all awakened to our true selves and there's no more fighting. In this place, all we have to do now is look at really who we are at a deeper level, who we are before we came to Earth, and what that divine life mission really looks like. I would call it the blueprint that you created for yourself before you were born. You put in many, many, many things that you were already very good at from other lives, and probably put in a few things to accomplish that you had yet to do, to learn in this lifetime. He can really help you there. He can really guide you back to the path that you created for yourself. So make a note of that and spend some time, especially during this next month when we're working with Michael to guide you. He's more than happy to do so, and he's done the same for me. The north is open. And now to the east, we're going to summon the great Archangel Raphael. He's this God's healing angel. He's responsible for so much of the healing energy that flows into our homes. And there's nothing that makes a bigger difference in all of that is intention. He can bring you healing light simply because he's an angel and with his entourage. But tonight we ask for it. We intend it. And the green light of manifestation and healing just begins to flow right now into your home. You can feel that. And right behind him, in my world, are two whales that work in our whale school here and in the energy of healing. Very powerful beings that have been here for millions of years. And they bring with them the royal purple light, which is the violet flame. It's instant transmutation of lower or negative energies. So you're in good hands here with the East, with the healing beings, and we thank you. We thank all of you. And the East is open. So for those that already have a grid, go ahead and do your own thing as you call in your beings and refresh it. For those that don't know, visualize yourself now in a four-sided pyramid. And see the apex above your home, your house, your condo, wherever you live. Good. Now visualize an inverted copy of that four-sided pyramid down below your house. As above, so below. And what you've done is create a huge diamond that perfectly fits over your property. It's also called the octahedron, and this is the sacred space. This is the architectural, sacred geometrical form of sacred space. It is the diamond, the octahedron. So take a moment and appreciate what you've just done or what you've co-created, because it's very real. and it instantly changes the vibration, moving you closer to understanding 0 point and how we can be in this neutral place without drama, without chaos, without fear. And we can sit there no matter what the rest of the world is doing and be in our octahedron. And we can manifest all kinds of wonderful things that will help others, including ourselves. And that's the goal of the soul, isn't it? For every soul, is to be in alignment with joy and purpose. So last but not least, drop your energy down to where you grounded. And that's where we're going to see the apex of center below. And here is Archangel Chamuel, beauty and grace, working with the prana that's flowing up into the octahedron from the earth herself, bringing Gaia's light to you, filling it. Good. And now rise up to the apex of center above, where the four-sided pyramid comes above your home. And we're calling in Archangel Jophiel. For me, she always appears in this beautiful turquoise light. It's like the water from Bimini, from the Caribbean. You know, she's like floating and like a mermaid almost, just beautiful and peaceful. And now come back into the heart where we started. This would be the 7th direction. And just almost like pull up a beautiful, you know, nicely cushioned chair and sit down inside your own heart and just appreciate what you've done. And we're going to call in Archangel Zadkiel last. It's one of the great archangels. He's going to be a mentor for you. He's a great educator. He's going to be available for your questions, supporting you. Good. Now, each person has 3 master guides. You may or may not have met them, but they're here. And if you would ask them to come in and be in the heart with you, asking one to stand in front of you and one behind each of your shoulders, creating a triangulation again that moves us out of duality. Beautiful. Our sacred space is open. Namaste. And again, welcome everyone. Hopefully you feel shifted and a little bit more peaceful, especially during this time we're experiencing. Thank you for opening your heart and coming. I think what our first meeting really is about now is understanding how we can make new choices. The one we're making now with the coronavirus and everyone staying home has sort of been forced on us. But if we trust that everything is designed in a spiritual hierarchy in a higher place, excuse my little pop-up ads here, here we go. We can understand that everything happens for a reason and that it's not designed to create more fear. It's designed to help you make new choices, to help you come to what I'm calling the big reset here. And so for a moment, let's just really try hard to make this about you now, not about anything else or any kind of fear. Just moving into what we would consider a way to consciously grow and expand and move out of the fear. Moving into, hopefully, a deeper, more profound spiritual practice for you. You know, it's almost like if you can imagine yourself being a carpenter, and, you know, I used to be married to a carpenter, and his whole thing was buying the best tools. It took me a while to understand that, but, you know, he wanted to have the best tools for his trade. He was a finished carpenter. So during this 4 weeks, we're going to examine tools that maybe you already have that you use effectively, and tools that maybe you don't have, to upgrade your spiritual practice to make you the best practitioner of how to be in the highest vibration as you live your life. The one we just taught you is absolutely incredible and profound. If you don't have an angelic grid or some type of spiritual grid around your house, you do now. And if you did that every day, it doesn't even have to take that long. It would change everything. Really, it would, just that. And people would remark, they will, when they come into your house, they'll go, oh my God, the vibration's so beautiful, how do you do it? And then you can explain it to them. And in future weeks, we'll do other ways to open sacred space. There's no right or wrong way, but you got the essence of that you need. Well, I don't know if you need, but you certainly would desire to have an angelic type of vibration around you, keeping other energies out that perhaps you don't want to invite in. Okay, so you're getting the idea. So this is about daily spiritual practice in the first part of our class. The energy of the planet is supporting our awakening, as you probably know. Everywhere you turn, you can see new potentials now, and many people choosing to raise their vibration, understanding that this time period that we're in certainly has created that opportunity, perhaps more so than before. So for me, it's my chance to come into the law of attraction with you even more deeply and other cosmic laws and remind you that you're the creator of your own experience, that you're the creator of the life that you're living now, and that the collective that we're living in has all decided, sometimes from an unconscious state, what's happening on the planet. So I would like you to just move into that, even if you don't agree with it. Just try to feel that and try to feel whatever the part is that's what's going on the planet right now, that you help create that. And that it is an opportunity, not a tragedy, not a crisis, not a pandemic, that it's something else. Okay? Truly, it is an opportunity for people to leave the planet, but that's not a bad thing. Everybody that comes here is going to leave. Everybody knows that, right? No one's like from here. We're all camping. Absolutely no, not one of us is from here. So you wouldn't come here if you didn't have a ticket home. And how you create that ticket home is up to your soul. And today we're going to talk about soul alignment. That's one of the things the soul rarely talks to you about, is your exit point. Rarely does, because it affects you so much. We have so much fear over it. But if we didn't have fear, your soul would talk to you about it. So something to think about, isn't it? So we invite you to ask yourself these questions, okay? What devotional spiritual practices am I doing now? And what ones I was doing before this happened? And then tonight, am I willing to learn new spiritual practices that no matter what happens on the planet, I can take with me? I can use them every day, or maybe once a week, or as they're needed, like to expand my toolbox. Do I want to discover more ways where I can create more joy? Because joy is the fuel. If we could go to a station somewhere and like we do with our cars and fill up our car with fuel, we could fill up our body with joy, then we would run for a very long time on that. Think of it that way. It's up to you to put the joy into your body, which means it's up to you to make different choices if you're not doing that already, and put joy first. My guides call this the fun factor. So where's your fun factor? If you have kids, it's probably higher than most people that don't, because the kids refuse to be anything other than joyful, right? Unless they're having a personal moment. Kids love to have fun. So we have to be more like that. And then the fourth thing is, am I willing to take better care of myself? Am I willing to nurture myself more so that self-love can reign, so that more self-love can come into my body? And I would have to say, if there's one thing we could identify that's an issue with the planet and all of humanity, it's self-love, particularly at least in the country I live in, which is the United States. So here we're taught really that we're not worthy even. We're taught that we're not good enough and that we have to compete to survive, which is of course a lie. The earth has provided everything we need, and the elementals and God, all we have to do is access it. It's in the distribution of it, I guess you would say, and the ability of one human to share with another. And that, of course, can be rectified. Okay, am I willing to claim a new and higher vibration where I can communicate differently? And one of the huge things we're going to talk about in this course every single week is, how can I communicate more clearly? Because it's the vibration that you're living in, that you're emanating from, that you're creating through these practices and these tools. That's how the communication upgrades. I mean, let's take, for example, you met somebody that never had the opportunity maybe to learn to read. Now, I'm not saying they don't communicate clearly. I'm saying they won't communicate in the same way that someone that's had a lot of schooling and reads well, or someone who chooses to educate themselves in various ways to be more of an educated person. And none of these things is I'm saying is one is right and one is wrong. I'm just saying, which one do you choose? Do you choose to access all different ways that are available to you, even ones you don't know about yet, to communicate more clearly? And even if you say no, what you're really saying is, I don't want to know myself better. Because the clearer the communication is, the better your life will be. Okay? Now we're not talking about books, we're talking about your ability to communicate with spirit, with your higher self, which is your soul. That should be the first and foremost communication. The love that you have for your physical form should be reflected in the vibration of how you feel about your soul. And then the way that you communicate with your guides or don't communicate with your guides, and then that ripples down to, how do you communicate with the animals? Because they're all speaking to you too, but are you speaking back? So everybody speaks telepathically in the higher realms, and most of them are holding that vibration right here on the planet because that's their job. Okay, and when we were not on this planet, we would communicate that way too. So it's not outside of you, I would say. It's just about remembering it and using the tools. So we're going to talk about that and how that can happen in your body. And then it's about just a choice. Am I willing to make time? And I think you are. You wouldn't be in this class. willing to make time to study every day, to use the tools to raise the vibration of my home, my property, my car, my children, my animals, myself? Am I willing to take that responsibility? And am I willing to um, use a unified type of meditation to connect with the earth and with the sun, to keep the balance in my body and the prana as it comes in through the prana tube? Or is my prana tube pretty much collapsed? I haven't paid any attention to that and I don't feel well. So something to think about. We want to claim the energy that I call gifts. The gifts are clairaudience, that means clear hearing, clairsentience, clear feeling, clairvoyance, clear seeing, and claircognizance, which is clear knowing. All of those gifts are given to every single person. It's just a matter of how we choose to develop them. Like we talked about learning to read or learning to walk or learning to do anything that we do. They're skills, but they're inherent in each of you. So it's about using them wisely. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen here. You can see. There's a picture of my partner. I think she'll come around probably before the class is over, so you can see her. She usually sits next to me in the office. So I like the word welcome because, you know, I work with the whales and they are the great, great ancient beings on our planet. And here's a little business card for the school and for myself. For those that maybe don't know, I started out as just an animal communicator, talking to animals and doing one-on-one sessions, classes. And that moved me into angelic and guide communication. Usually by about the third year I did it, the animals started saying, okay, now that we've talked about me, let's talk about how my mom and dad can get in touch with their guides. And so that just really became my focus. And then, you know, I started working with dolphins and whales, I think about 1999, and the dolphins came to my house and they woke me up. 3 dolphins lived really in front of my house for about 6 years when I lived in Mexico. And they taught me so much. They opened me up, taught me about joy. And so now I do retreats. Just came from Hawaii in February. And of course, we didn't get to go to Mexico. Not sure if we're going to get to go to Bimini. That's in June. We'll find out. But normally that's what I do. And then the other part of my life is taken up with the whale and dolphin energy healing. We have a school. We train practitioners now, and I think some of you are in the class tonight. So it's amazing. Last week, something so exciting. Hi, honey. There's my partner. The whales contacted me, which honestly they rarely do. And I mean, I do channel them, but they don't call me every day, and I can't call them. They call me, and they asked me if I would be willing to work with them to create a healing process to help people with the coronavirus. So if you're on our email list, you probably just got that today. I spent a week working on it. And so that's really, I'm so excited, I can't tell you, because of course they have the ability, partnered with Source Energy, to remove that virus from people's physical forms if that person gives permission and if that person's willing to raise their vibration. And also to put what they call a sacred immunity shield of golden light around the person to protect them as they move about the planet. So it didn't surprise me that they had this ability because I've seen them heal almost everything over the last 19 years. But I'm very excited about working with this virus, and I think what we're about to launch next week is going to heal thousands of people. I really know it is. So check it out. We're just charging, I think, $22 for the first couple of sessions. We're going to see how it goes. But, you know, the whales were joking, and then they said, this is going to go viral. I'm like, okay, I hope it does. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to help so many people. I work with the Akashic Records. Of course, I'm an angelic intuitive, I guess you'd say. I can talk to your angels and guides. And for about 8 years now, I've done a lot of coaching. I'm kind of moving out of the coaching now and into the healing more, but I still do. I'm still happy to do some coaching for people that have an issue or they want to work for maybe 4, 5 sessions on activating their communication with their guides. I'm happy to do that. I do a lot of radio shows, but I have my own show through Jennifer McLean once a month, and that's always posted on my website. And of course, lots of classes, and I've enjoyed being an author and a filmmaker. So I stay busy. So years ago, living in Mexico, and I told you about, I worked with a shaman. And this is during my early spiritual awakening after I had my near-death experience. And I went to a fire circle. And at the end of the fire circle, he brought me into the middle, and he said that he journeyed further out into the cosmos than he'd ever gone before. And it was because of me. And he said, I went to the place where the whales are. And the whales are the creator gods. You know, they create the human form and they work with God. And I'm like, I don't have any idea what he was talking about. And he said, I'm going to call you Standing Whale Mother. And I was so embarrassed. I can't tell you. I just went back to my place and sat down. But now I honor this man because he saw me. He saw a part of me that I couldn't see yet. And he helped me plant some seeds, that have grown now in my connection to the whales, which didn't really come in until 2008. But when it did, it came in like a freight train, and I surrendered to it. And I agreed to be the voice for the consciousness of the whales and dolphins. And I've never looked back. So it's wonderful. So this workshop is an immersion into your soul transformation and evolution. So when we make this alignment we're talking about, the alignment with the soul, and we kind of look at how that can happen, then again, the communication can be much more clear, and you will not feel alone. That's my goal anyway, to get you there. In this lifetime, we've waited to create a life of peace and harmony. Everyone has. So that might not be conscious for you, but I hope it is now that you can say, I'm tired of the war, I'm tired of anything that isn't loving, and I'm going to make a difference now. I'm going to play my part differently than I did before. I'm no longer a drama queen, So connecting to the grid, this beautiful picture of the crystalline grid. Your soul can guide you and help you connect to the whales, and that's one of my goals too, if you're not already connected to them and to the dolphins. They are wisdom keepers, they are planetary stewards, and they can help you in every way, accelerate any kind of healing, core level healing, emotional healing, physical healing. We're looking at a being here that, they look ancient, don't they? Where they've really been here 300 plus million years. Nobody really knows. Before they went into the ocean, they walked on the land. They were humanoid. They have 5 fingers and their pectoral fins, just like, we have 5 fingers. And we're connected just through eons and eons of time as cosmic cousins, kind of. And I'm so grateful that they're here to help us. We've recently had scientific proof that the whale sound is the most powerful healing sound on the planet. Some of that work was done by Dr. Emoto with the crystalline water experiments that they've done. So certainly has been my experience. So it's time for humans to begin to live and create from their hearts. It's time for us to open up to what sacred geometry is. There's a nice picture of Metatron's cube there, and start to understand that at the basic core level, at the atomic level, we are sacred geometry, and that we can alter the way it fits around us in the sense of balance or unbalance. And this all again comes from the heart, where we absolutely know when we're in the heart that anything is possible. There are no limits, and we have solution energy to everything. All your questions are answered there. They're not answered from the mind. The mind will play ping pong with you all day long. Tell you you can do it, and then turn around and say you can't do it. You can do it, you can't do it, you can do it, you can't do it, and so forth. That right away, when you're in that vibration, you want to get out of it. It's like a feedback loop, and you want to drop back into your heart. So we'll talk about that tonight. The heart is the key to living in love and peace. And if everyone had love and peace, we wouldn't even have this class. We'd all be out doing something else. We'd, be out creating something beautiful. But I'm so glad we're here to have the class right now so we can experience that. Right now, we're going to have a look at a little film piece, which is part of our film, Ascension Guidance. It's actually called Living in Your Sacred Heart. And then we're going to do a meditation. So throughout the 4 weeks, we'll do a series of meditations. And it's best if you have a blindfold, and in a way, maybe even to turn the lights down in the room during the meditations. It's best the reason being, if you block out the light from your physical eyes when you're meditating or listening to a guided meditation, you have a different experience with the development of the pineal gland, which is one of the things we're going to talk about, being the biological organ that allows you to have clear communication, to speak to spirit. Okay, so take a moment if you need to grab a scarf or a blindfold, and take a moment now to get quiet and settle in. And I'm going to start the film piece first. I hope you enjoy it.
Tools for Ascension. Living in your sacred heart. Living in the heart is utilizing the most important cosmic law. Entering the sacred place of your heart is the source of creation. The heart is the key to everything. The heart is older than the body and the brain. The secrets that you are seeking are within your heart. Within your heart is where creation takes place. The brain requires light to see and exist, but the heart sees in darkness. In the heart is a world without fear. There is a vibration within the heart that is the Om to the universe. It is the heart that contains the original instructions for life. And when the heart is again in control of a person's life, life responds with joy and power. The heart is the key to everything. There is a secret inside the heart that is there for you. There is a tiny space within the heart where creation actually takes place. When you create from your heart, you create beauty, pristine vibration, a world without fear, a world without polarity or duality. When you create from the heart, there is no karma, because the heart is incapable of lying. When you create from your mind, there is polarity, and it does not matter how incredibly beautiful something that you would create from your mind is, because somewhere in the world is an equal or opposite reaction to that. So when you move into the heart, there is only love, there is only truth, and there is only beauty, because your heart is incapable of lying or misleading you. We are living in a feeling universe, not a thinking universe. If you have been thinking your way through life, you may be sadly dismayed with the creations that are occurring in your life. We suggest that you move immediately into your heart and begin to create without polarity. Master Buddha lovingly suggests that you take out your brain and that you dig a hole in the backyard. You bury your brain and you forget where you put it. The heart is the map and the key to your life. Entering your sacred heart. The sacred place of your heart is the source of creation. The heart is the key to everything. The heart is older than the body and the brain. There are many secrets inside of your heart for you to remember. There is a tiny space within the heart where creation takes place. The heart is a torus and exists within a toroidal field. The toroidal field represents the infinity sign, or loop, which is also representative of balancing the two halves of your brain. In the heart is a world without fear. There is a vibration within the heart that is the Om to the universe. As we connect with our sacred heart, we suggest a unity breath meditation. This meditation will connect you to your Divine Mother and your Divine Father, balancing the energies and connecting you to your personal sacred heart space. In this meditation, we suggest a grounding as we send our light deep into the heart of our Mother Earth, opening the soles of our feet and allowing our souls to connect to Mother Earth's soul. Sending our light into the earth and allowing Mother Gaia to send her love back up to you. Allowing this energy to flow freely through our systems, placing a ball of our Mother's love in our sacred heart. And now, opening our heart, our throat, and our crown chakra, connecting to the infinite wisdom of Father Sun, sending our light up into the cosmos, connecting with our Creator. Feel the love of Creator as Spirit answers your call and floods you with the energy of your source. This is the place of infinite possibilities and all-encompassing love. Allow the energy and flow of love to fill you. And now place a ball representing Father Sun, source energy into your heart next to that ball of Mother Earth. Allow yourself to experience this energy now, running vertically in two directions as it flows into your being. This balanced energy that you are receiving from your mother and your father will now allow you to enter your sacred heart. This expanded and balanced love energy that you have created in your heart is where the highest creations take place. And now, allow your energy to expand out into the universe to connect with the infinite intelligence of all of creation, honoring the divinity within you. And now, ask that the energy of the cosmos returns to you magnified. And now, we're going to journey into the inner sanctum of your heart. There is a vortex there, and it will pull you into a tunnel, into the outer sacred space of your heart. Feel the vibration of your heart in concert with the divine, and know that this is the place that you want to create your life from. We will now provide 2 exercises to assist you in entering your sacred heart. Allow your consciousness to center and to be within your brain, pineal and third eye area. And now send your consciousness out of the back of your head, entering your body between your shoulder blades, going directly into your heart chamber. Allow yourself to feel this arc of energy and practice navigating this several times, experiencing the energy of your consciousness moving from your mind through the arc between your shoulder blades and into your heart. And now, allow yourself to try a second modality for entering your sacred heart. Once again, center your consciousness in your brain, pineal, and third eye area. And now, allow yourself to take the elevator down from your brain into your heart and walk directly into your heart chamber. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the elevator door and walk into your sacred heart chamber. Ask your Creator to let there be light within your heart. Within this chamber of the heart are your Akashic records and your intentions for coming to Earth in this incarnation. All of your personal information exists here. From here, you can remember that you are your best teacher and you know your own inner truth. The vibrational increase is magnified as you are centering now in your heart. And now we are going to ask you to go into an inner chamber of your heart. This inner sanctum of your heart to your most special and sacred place. Explore finding the opening now to the inner sanctum of your heart. Perhaps you will be led down a hallway. Perhaps you will be guided to open a door. Perhaps you will enter a temple. Or perhaps you will trust your guidance, and you will just be seated and allow a vision to present itself to you. The inner sanctum, the still small space of your heart, is 0 point. The origin of creation is within you, and your heart contains the original instructions for your life. Go deeper now into the still small space of your heart, the Holy of Holies. This is your most sacred and special place that holds the highest vibration you can emanate and sustain as a physical being of light. Go into your center of consciousness now. Here you will find that all of the universe is available to you. Within the inner sanctum of your heart, you can access all of the wisdom of the quantum universe. And here, all time and no time exist simultaneously. As you practice these meditations and techniques, you will note that a vibrational increase will occur each time. Eventually, it will be easy to enter your sacred heart, and perhaps your heart will be a permanent place for your consciousness to reside. This opportunity will release the need for your brain or mind to try to be the controlling organ or force in your life. When you begin to consciously live within your heart, you will find that you are no longer participating in duality. You will live within the center of your being, and you will release polarity. You will begin to live in a pure vibration that transcends right or wrong or judgment. Your thoughts and feelings will emanate from the sacred place of the heart, and you will create and manifest very quickly in third-dimensional reality. Our suggestions are to practice moving back and forth from the brain area to the heart every day, feeling the difference in vibration. And then practice moving from the sacred space of your heart into the inner sanctum of your heart. We suggest you consciously navigate from time to time back into your pineal, and then drop down in the elevator or arc your consciousness back into the heart through your shoulder blades. Begin to sense and know when you are in your heart, and then begin tracking how much time each day are you living and creating from your sacred heart. Whatever you are dreaming in your sacred heart space becomes your reality. In retrieving and creating mastery in your life, we encourage you to work with automatic writing, and perhaps you will want to begin to record your intentions and feelings. Also, we suggest you experiment with keeping a daily journal of your thoughts and intentions. Access your mastery by asking yourself, from the sacred space of the heart, what are my special and unique gifts in this life? Who am I? Where am I from? And what am I here on earth to do? What have I chosen to do in this lifetime to create joy for myself? What can I choose in this lifetime that brings joy and harmony for others? How can I assist in creating unity consciousness in my own family? And how can I assist in creating unity consciousness in my community? How can I contribute to creating a peaceful world in which to live? How can I demonstrate what it is to be peaceful and balanced as a global citizen? We We encourage you to explore living and creating from your sacred heart each and every day. It is an honor and a joy to have worked with you in this way. There is great love within your heart for each and every one of you. And now, as we move forward in time, embracing the increased vibration of the earth, the angels, the animals, and the dolphins ask me to ask you to remember and implement 4 evolutionary principles of cosmic law that apply to all beings. Number 1, embrace the human purpose, therefore examining your true life purpose and why you chose to incarnate in the evolutionary spiral at this time. Number 2, at the core of every being, all have divine essence, which is goodness and love. Number 3, free will is an absolute and universal right on this planet. And number 4, all of natural life and its existence is sacred. So be it, and so it is. Blessings and namaste. I am Lori Rian.
You say hi, buddy? Yeah. There's a bit. I hope you enjoyed that. I've been joined by Master Buddha. I'm going to open up the gallery for a moment so you can start to breathe again and come back into your body and see if anyone has anything they'd like to share, any questions. Some of you I know, I've worked with you, and I know that you know this process, and I hope that you live it every day, that you guide yourself back into your heart every time there's an opportunity to feel negativity or to join an argument or feel chaos or fear, because when we come back in that process, or one of the 2 processes actually that you just learned, it's just a safe haven. You know, the heart is the key. I personally like the arc where you go out the back of the head in between the shoulder blades. I'm going to say when I first learned that, and I still was very much a drama queen, it was not in my art. I mean, I knew how to come in my heart, but I didn't realize that creation is actually based on that, the emotional body, which we're going to talk about. I would say I probably did it 100 times a day until I could finally release myself from judgment. And then the final thing came when I really could release it was, I think, let's see, must have been Buddha was about 3. Yeah. She told me one morning when I came out that she was going to be leaving and that she couldn't work with me anymore because I still had a judgment over people killing people. It's like, wow. So I won't drag you through all of that, but she told me how I could heal that part of myself. And I could come to a place of neutrality, honoring the soul path of people who did choose to come here and kill each other. It's a contract, they're choosing it, it's not random. That I had no business judging them, so she was right. And I worked with her in a very deep way to where I could be in a war zone basically and not have an opinion about it, not think that I knew better for somebody else. I choose not to even think about war thoughts or see war movies, or that's how finely tuned I am against it. But to say against it now is to imply that I have an opinion or that I feel I know better than someone else. And I don't. I just know what I want for myself. And that's really the goal of the soul alignment, isn't it? That's what this class is about. It's finding out what you want and knowing that it's okay for you to have a different opinion than someone else. But it's not okay for us to put our energy or our opinion onto someone else. So anyway, I'm still open if anyone would like to ask a question or comment. Jean, did you have something? Anybody
Yeah,
else?
I'm just getting a jacket.
So I hope you're all feeling love. All right. Okay. Let's come back to what we were talking about here. So from the same perspective, it's time to use your free will now for the highest and best good, to understand the power of free will. I'm told by my guides, and of course my partner who knows just about everything about the galaxy, she's a master in that. This is on other planets, we don't have this kind of free will. That we're put here to have the opportunity to excel or evolve very quickly. May seem slow, but I mean, compared to other realities, it's very fast. And you can change almost everything in your life just through a few simple decisions using your free will differently than you did if you were creating a, I would say a crash and burn scenario, or a scenario where you have an illness, or a scenario where you lose your job. That you come to a different place of understanding, and you don't have to have the hard knocks anymore from the universe, because you're softened to the reality of that you're the creator. So I think it's time to remember who you are, to connect to your star family. Your star family loves you. Your biological family probably loves you too. Then again, you might have some challenges with them, but very seldom is your biological family the same as your star family. There are 10 dimensions in this galaxy between here and the black hole, which is the center of the galaxy. And outside of that, there are others. And we all come really from source, pure source light from the Lyran system, which is 12th dimensional. We have our first life there when we first come in from being pure light. And then we navigate from there into different realities, different dimensions, different planets. And this is the time period when using your heart, your star family is really not that hard to connect to, but we kind of have to discover who they are first, which can be a little bit of a course of study. And we're happy to help you with that if that's something you're interested in. But believe me, they want to help you. And then on another note, we all have Pleiadian energy. They are our brothers and sisters from the time of the starseed experiment. And so every single person, every single animal has Pleiadian DNA, even though there are some Pleiadians here that are 100% Pleiadian. I have a lot of friends that are full-blooded Pleiadians. So to connect with them, I guess what I would say to begin with is good. And, I would say, I'm sure you've all heard me say this before, that we're all on nanny cams right now. The Pleiadians are watching us, not to spy on us, but we're on sort of a camera network with the different ships that are around the planet, because they're watching to see when we raise our vibration, to when we actively choose to take on our light body, activate our Merkaba, to when we say we're ready to connect to the galactic frequencies and to be of service in a completely different way. We get out of our little lives into our big lives. And this is a choice. No one can make you do it. But I recommend you think about it, because it certainly changes everything for me, and the way you manifest differently, and the way you look at your path of service on the planet. Okay? So this workshop is an immersion into becoming a conscious creator. We're talking thought, word, and deed now, to where nothing is, or at least practically nothing is outside of what you can make conscious. Co-creating with others for the highest and best good of all there is. Okay? Sometimes what's coming down the pike is hidden from you, and there's a reason for that, is because you absolutely wouldn't understand it. And that just happened to our planet, right? I don't think anybody saw this virus coming, and that for good reason, except perhaps for the people playing the dark part that created it. They saw it. The rest of us didn't, because we're in it to have a different experience than that. And now we all know that, or at least most of us do, that this is a reset, and it's creating a huge opportunity for growth and evolution, and for many people, of course, to go home. So it will pass. So when I work with the energies of a 5D community, which is really my memories of living in Lemuria, which is now the remnants of Hawaii and the city under Mount Shasta, which is Telos, those beings that are still alive, of course, in their Lemurian bodies, hold a 5D community. They still live in peace and harmony. And when we go to Hawaii, and I go as often as I can, I'm very much, part of me has the Polynesian memories of being Lemurian. It's one of my happy places. I come back to the energy of what would it be like to live in a 5D community? And that what can I do to help create that right now? Well, first of all, it starts at home. Are you doing it at home? Second of all, it starts with your friends and your immediate community. Are you doing it with them? And then, of course, it ripples out and affects the planet. So let's focus on that now. Let's take our energy and say, what would it be like where everyone realizes that they create their own reality, that people aren't wandering around thinking that something random is happening to them? In other words, they release the predator-victim cycle, that someone's out to get them or rob them or hurt them, because no one could ever rob you if you hadn't set that up. They would have to have a contract to rob you. And why would they do that? Is because you set that up so you could learn from that experience. Okay, so we move out of that duality. We move out of that illusionary holographic reality, and we move into a different place where there's consciousness. And we now create differently because, well, if you're going to move out of that, you don't need it anymore. You've evolved past that where you need to play, and I wouldn't say, sort of like kindergarten. You don't need to play the blocks anymore, because that's really what the predator-victim game is about. Is you're playing in a reality that's an illusion. It's a pretend world. And when you move out of that, you realize no one is really here to hurt each other. We're here to love. And in that place, when the larger group of us moves into that, where everyone listens to their heart, we won't have negativity anymore. We won't have the need for anyone to ever say anything harmful or do anything harmful to another, because love will prevail, where everyone loves themselves and all others. So think about how that applies to your world right now. Just what immediately comes to mind is there a group of people around you that feel this? Do you have a group of people around you where there's no drama? No one hurts each other. You don't criticize each other. If not, ask for it. And then create that at home. Create a safe place for that at home, where everyone is acting on their excitement and their joy. So again, it starts with you. Where is your excitement and joy coming from? Okay, I know we can't call up our friends right now and say, let's run out and listen to some live music tonight, or let's go dancing, or let's go to the movies. We can't do that right now, but we can have, I think, excitement and joy in our homes. And I don't know where it is where you live, but where I live, we can still have small groups of people come together. So I've been enjoying entertaining, 3 or 4 guests on the weekends, having a nice dinner party, just a few people. Where before, our soul family gatherings were usually after a class, and we'd have 40 or 50 people, and it would be a big deal with a lot of cleanup. And I like that too, but I'm enjoying the small groups right now. So maybe you are too, spending a time with smaller groups and really, catching up with your really close friends, cooking something they really enjoy eating. So there's one way. More time playing with the kids, more time playing with your animals, where everyone is doing what they love doing, and where everyone is being their true natural self. It's worth reaching for, isn't it? Where everyone is working together. And here's a good one, where money is experienced as a tool in sharing, in exchanging goods and services with a conscious stewardship. So I'm happy to say that my business has moved into, I think, pretty much that. I used to have to, or at least I felt like I had to worry about money. I had to ask Spirit or God, or however you perceive that, to bring me a certain amount of money so I could pay my rent and my bills. And I'm not saying I'm rich, but I've moved into a place now where I've let that go. And I know no matter what the bank balance looks like, I'm still going to stay in stewardship. I'm still going to stay in as close as I can to giving the lowest possible price for my work, because I know I'm going to be cared for. And I know it's what the work that we're giving out to the world is really important. And it shouldn't come with a big price tag where it blocks people from experiencing it. Okay, and here's a good one, where angels, extraterrestrial beings, earth elementals, animals, and humans dance, sing, and play together. So, pretty nice. And where soul families, friends explore and discover their true essence and their true divinity. So you will experience this if you're not, is what I'm hearing right now. As soon as you can let go of the fact that you're not lovable, or you're too negative, or you're too this, or you're too that, when you can go to the mirror, and I don't care what your reflection looks like, it's the soul, it's the energy of the heart, and you radiate that out, you're going to have lots of friends and lots of people that want to spend time with you, because they're going to sense that. And you're going to help them, because as you are truly authentic in being your divine self, you're encouraging them to do the same thing. Wasn't that long ago, I was talking to a friend, and they're in transition, and wanting to upgrade their job situation, and they were a little bit nervous about going to an interview and having the right resume and wearing the right dress, and which is that's natural. And Puda came into the room and she said, here's what I'd do if I was you. She said, when I go into the interview, I would be very kind and very loving, and I would of course pumped up my heart light, so I'm radiating a lot of love, and I would say to the person interviewing me, I think we could save a lot of time if you would just tell me what it's really like to work here. Do you like it? Are you treated well? Are you paid well? Do you have bonuses? I mean, is it a nice place to work? Because if it's not, I don't see the point in interviewing me, because you see, I'm very skilled in what I do, and my life is very important to me, and where I put my time, particularly my work time, is so important that I find the right place where I really fit and where I'm appreciated because I have an awful lot to give. And so you interview the person that wants to interview you first, and you do it from a place of worthiness and courage and confidence. I thought that was so great. So hope that helps. Nice picture. There's so much inside of us. Everything that's available to you. If we just let go of the negative, find it. So we're talking about now living in the heart. We now know how to go into the heart. It takes practice, but I mean, I'm saying you could be in your heart if you're having a negative thought in 3 seconds or less. Okay, just practice that. Bring all of your energy right now up to your mind, up to your brain. And now arc it out of the back of your head and come into the shoulder blades like you learned in the meditation. Come right into the heart chamber. It's like a little explosion of light. Boom, there you are. Now from that place, you can only know loving thoughts, words, and deeds. You can only be kind. What was the Dalai Lama said? He said, do you want to be kind or do you want to be right? I love that. It's not about being right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. There is only free will choice. And what is right for one is wrong for another. So we have to stop competing over that and just honor the diversity. Let everybody be the creator of their own reality. And isn't it nice that we all don't want to do the same thing or have the same opinion or eat the same foods? Isn't that nice? So everything in your life is an expression of your choices. Some are conscious and some are unconscious. So we want to move into taking control over your consciousness to become a real and true conscious creator. So it might be fun if you wrote down now on your paper what percentage of your life you feel is conscious, that you're making decisions from a place of the heart, and that you've considered the impact of love, the vibration of joy in every decision. Even the simple ones like where to go shopping or what movie to see or, who to spend time with. Like attracts like. And if you spend time with like-minded people and, navigate your life according to a schedule that works with the heart, you will be happy. You'll find yourself not in traffic anymore, and you'll have a parking space. And, I'm in a grocery store, and I don't want to think I'm more important than anybody, but I never stand in line. It just opens up. It's just synchronicity of the universe opens up for me. I always have lots of room on the freeway. I'm, like 1 in 100 days I'll have traffic, and then I'll just sit and talk to it, and I'll just ask it to lift up, and it does. This is the power that we have within our hearts, is to navigate the life. It doesn't have to impact anybody else. It's just for you. Okay? Conscious creation. Think about that. Conscious creation. Okay, so how does that happen? Well, first of all, we have to get into the heart, and that way we can get in touch with our emotional body, to get in touch with how you feel before making a decision. Okay, I use this particular thing, I think back to where I really knew this, I really operated from this place. And let's say I'm planning a retreat, and I found, a beautiful hotel on the beach for the retreat, and then I found another place that's like a big house that's on the beach, and I can't decide. So I asked my guides, I say, so which one should I choose? And they said, well, we're not going to make the decision for you, but we can help you feel what you would feel if you choose that one and what it would be like to have the retreat there. So let's go to the place that's the hotel on the beach, and let's see you having your meditation sitting on that grass, and let's see what the hotel rooms look like. And let's feel into what it would be like to have the conference in this room over here. Okay, now let's go to the house that you're looking at. Let's walk into the big living room and see the people here and see them sitting on the couches and chairs. What does that feel like? And immediately I knew which one I wanted, but I had to go to that feeling state first. You get out of the analytical mind. So this is what, if we could be retaught, and I think that's what this is about, you would learn that your emotions are the creative force. They're responsible for everything, and we just don't acknowledge them. So when you're in your heart, you can feel everything about everything, and then you can start to trust that can be the navigating force. And that, of course, is where your guides will take you to, is into the feeling state, not the thinking state, okay? So now you can access this vibration of love we talk about. Cause and effect for every action will shift. And I think if you look at the negativity in your life now, the problems, the challenges, the illness, whatever it is that you don't like about your life or about you, it's cause and effect. Okay, you did something to create that. And now you don't like the effect. You did something or many things probably over years to create a situation that's just now. How many times have you heard somebody say, well, I'm going to move when I get blank, or I'm only going to live here for 1 more year, or I'm going to get a different job in 3 years, or, I mean, they're sentencing, I can't say the word, sentencing themselves to a long period of more suffering, or a period of when it's not good enough. Why not now? I mean, why not trust the universe to move you out of something right away? Like, what about 1 month instead of 1 year? To move you into conscious creation. Why not? Why do we punish ourselves? I know, it's because we think instead of feel. Let's go back to the feeling state. We won't do that anymore. So when you're in your heart, it's easy to monitor your thoughts and your words and your deeds to only be positive. Now you can observe fear and choose to release it without participating in it. Okay, fear isn't going to go away. It's going to knock on your door, I'm sorry, every day. The more light you carry, the more darkness will come to you. And I didn't say that to frighten you. I said that to let you realize how important you are and how important it is to hold light. But I can tell you a little joke. It works for me. People that are dark, or solicitors or negative energy in its state that's non-corporeal, will come to your house. But if you have a grid, they can't come in. They only have to knock. And all the time, Buddha goes to the front door, and she says, "I see you out there." And she says, "You can keep on knocking, but you can't come in. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in." She makes everything a joke, which is kind of fun. And then she says, "Let me out, Mom. I'm going to go play with these dark ones and help them find their way home." And she does. That's what she does. She doesn't have a judgment over them. She don't want them to come in the house. I don't blame. I mean, I don't blame her. I appreciate that. So we can observe fear and we can observe negativity, but we don't have to live with it. We don't have to have a conversation with it. We don't have to participate unless you want to, because it probably will lower your vibration unless you're shored up enough to create a healing vibration. And that's the vibration, of course, we work with in our world when we're with the whales. The whales don't have any problem with the lowest of the lowest vibrations. They can still transmute it without going down with the ship. So fear is the absence of love. And when you move into that frequency of the absence of love, for most people, it's pretty hard to pull yourself out. So we recommend that you just make choices to avoid the fear. And you realize that probably everything that's really good about your life, or I'm going to say a gift, is hiding behind the fear. If you would walk through the fear, you would realize that on the other side is something that's very loving for you. And that we should, I'm talking about things where we have fear about maybe jumping out of an airplane, or getting a new job that seems scary, or making a phone call to somebody that, well, what if they don't like me? All that. Just do it. Just be your true self. Move through the fear. Buddha always says fear is, in your personal life, is like a bunch of soap bubbles floating around you, like you blow soap bubbles with those little toys that kids have. Put your finger up and pop a couple of fear bubbles and see what that feels like. I think you'll like it. You have to get over it, get stronger. So seek solution energy for every challenge, or the word perceived problem. Okay? Remember, the solution is never created in the same vibration or place the challenge exists in. Therefore, we must use our own innate power to go higher, to seek the true solution energy and the wisdom for any current challenge that we're facing. So you're not going to solve the problem where the problem is. You have to go higher. And to go higher, you have to be in your heart. You have to come back to the vibration of love, to seek what we call solution energy. Always in the heart. Always. And what if we said that every single problem has a solution in your heart right now? Not tomorrow, not next month or next year. The solution is in your heart right now, but what's keeping you from accessing it? That's the question we want to talk about. So probably some kind of emotional block or fear. So, but until you acknowledge that, until you say, okay, I'm a human being, I have put myself into a world that's polarized. And now I have the choice to be loving or not to be loving. I think I'm tired of making the unloving choices. I think I'm going to move into the heart and just make loving choices and see what that does to my life. And then watch it change. Watch yourself move into that higher vibration, and just all of a sudden you look around and everything's fine. Okay, maybe not perfect, but it's fine. You're not concerned. You're not stressed out. Yeah. I think about when I was a dance teacher years ago, and I spent most of my dancing playing with kids. I can remember people come in and they would talk about stress, and they'd say, it's so stressful, this and that. I didn't even know what the word meant. I'd look at them and go, what is stress? You know, of course, later I got the advanced course, but I needed to experience that so I could move out of it. But, you know, you can come into these periods in your life where there is no stress. And unless you choose to create it, maybe there won't be. Isn't that nice? Love it. So the mantra is, what I think and what I feel, I bring into form. This is about the law of attraction. It's about conscious creation. What I think and what I feel, I bring into form. I am a conscious creator. Who is sitting here saying, I double dare you to say it out loud. What I think and what I feel, I bring into form. I am a conscious creator. And from there, you can say all different things about yourself as far as being a conscious creator. You can move into all the different boxes and categories of conscious creation and make mantras and plans and excitement around it. So I love this, and it works. So life is a choice. That's what we're really focusing on now. Diversity, free will, and you are the creator. Free will choice is a huge gift on this planet. I'm going to start to examine our choices from the heart before you make them. And then we're going to work with a little film clip now to illustrate that. For those that don't know, in 2015, we finished a 3.5-year period of making a film. And it's called Ascension Guidance, Living in Your Sacred Heart. It's available to all of you for free if you don't already have it, simply by email me. Usually when people sign up on our email list, they get the copy of it digitally. It's also available on a DVD. If you want to purchase that, you can, but it's free. As an unlisted, I guess you'd say, or private YouTube right now. So, and it was really Puta's idea to do it. It was we'd already made a film about dolphins and whales, and we decided to go into the teachings of the heart, which we're doing in this class, and really to help people step by step. How can I raise my vibration so I'm not in fear, so I'm not in chaos, so I'm not struggling? Okay, how can I do that? So let's take a look at her little clip.
Life is a choice, and you are the creator. The beings that are here now in service to you and your soul or higher self are your master guide team, the whales and dolphins, the animals, and your personal angels. They are all asking me to remind you that life on Earth is a choice. Sometimes we forget that we are the creators of our own experience, which includes our personal lives. You also are a very powerful co-creator of the world in which you live and share. What this means is that you become an awakened and enlightened human. And then you are truly responsible for your every thought, word, and deed. Your higher self would like to remind you that the human body is simply the vehicle for the soul to express through. We ask you now, are you connected to your soul and your divine life blueprint? Are you exercising intentional evolution in your personal life? You are a great and powerful spiritual being. If you choose to work with the power you have to create, everything in your life will change, and you will manifest that which you desire with ease and grace. It is a minute-to-minute and day-to-day decision to monitor your personal vibration and thought forms. We invite you to utilize the tools that are given to manifest real change in your daily lives. It does not have to be difficult. Using these processes, you can change the way you choose to feel and think, and therefore the way you live. The whales that I speak with call this intentional evolution. When you claim a higher vibration to live within, you begin to experience the assistance of the holy ones. We call them the angelics, the cetaceans, and the animal beings of light. In their presence, your life begins to lovingly and gracefully shift, as these beings are carriers of light. In their presence, all that is not light becomes tenderly exposed so that it can be examined with clarity and sensitivity. There is no judgment, punishment, or shame involved in asking to know your true identity as a powerful light being. In asking for this knowledge and remembrance of self, you will consciously begin to bring real and true self-love into your life every day, all day long. The first step is to consciously choose to begin to live life by the simple task of giving and receiving love. First and foremost, for yourself. You must fill your cup each and every day if you truly want to share your God-given talents and gifts with the world. The powerful light beings around you will gently remind you every day that you are never alone. They are asking us to realize that any feelings we have that are other than loving are merely third-dimensional emotional thoughts that are limiting and can potentially block your journey of joy and love. They ask us to remember that any feelings of lack and limitation that you create are only a part of your human incarnation on earth and not a part of your soul's journey. When we remember that our human body is simply a vehicle for our soul to express through, we can release limiting thoughts and return to center. From this place, we create harmony, peace, and balance in our lives. Remember, it is a choice to create loving thoughts or not to in every minute. When we choose loving and positive thoughts, we find ourselves uplifted and solution energy appears. As you acknowledge that you have created the joys and the challenges in your life, know that you always create solution energy in every situation and for every opportunity. We then can create wonderful opportunities for ourselves and begin to manifest that which we value. This is called creating from the heart. From the space of the heart, we can feel true, unconditional love for ourselves and for others. And we move into the consciousness of the pod mind. From the place of the pod or family unit, everyone is loved and cared for. Everyone benefits, and there is no lack. The pod mind is demonstrated by living for the good of the many, not the self. We suggest you offer yourself the opportunity to live as individuals, families, and in community from this sacred place of the heart where everyone truly knows they are valued, loved, and cared for. From this place of self-awareness, we find self-empowerment and begin to recognize the God being or creator within ourselves and accept our power to create consciously. Master Buddha is lovingly reminding you to sand down all of those buttons on your control panel. The goal is to become centered and non-reactive to any conversation, chaos, or drama that we are offered. Simply choose again, she says, and release the trauma drama buttons on your panel. No one can push your buttons if they simply are not there to push. Then you can find and use your personal joystick. The vibration of joy is the vibration of true power, which translates into love of self and love of all life everywhere. Master Buddha says, "Let us rejoice as conscious creators of our world." And so it is. Amen.
I hope you enjoyed that message. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, we're almost finished with our PowerPoint. We're going to talk about 4 cycles that are here on Earth. Some of you know that Master Cat Buddha is an aspect of the being we know as Seth. That may or may not mean anything to you, but she's aware of who her soul is and how long she's been here. And she has multiple human aspects and some in animal form. And I'm just elated that she's chosen to live with me as a cat. And because we're telepathic, I can learn so much of this and remember so much of the truth that she has to share. So she often talks about our galactic history, sometimes our universal history, but certainly our star family and how they want to connect with us in a benevolent way now. So this particular teaching, I hope you'll find some purpose in. I'm going to just read it to you, and then we'll take some questions as we move towards the end of the class and to see how this applies to you to help you have a deeper connection with your soul, maybe letting go of some old belief systems that just don't work for you anymore and coming into a new paradigm, really, where our belief system really is responsible for how our emotional body works. And if you trace that back, you realize that you can change your belief systems really even every day. One of the fun and very kind things that she does with me is that when we go to bed at night, she'll sit on the bed or on the chair and she'll say, "Tell me if your belief system has changed today, because you should know more tonight than you knew this morning. You're paying attention. You should, be expanded in the sense of your wisdom, your illumination, your healing." And it's a good reminder to pay attention to the teachings here I'm going to share with you now. So she says we have gone through 4 different life cycles and they exist on the planet. So the first one, she says, is a myth. And then she's going to tell you the truth behind the myth. Okay. So number 1 is the universe is a machine. In order to survive in this universe, you must compete with others for materials and resources. The world is polarized and everyone is against each other. Life is difficult and you must work hard to exist. The machine is impersonal and unloving. So I don't know about you, but some of that resonates with the teachings from where I grew up in my childhood. So here's the truth behind that myth. The universe is not a machine. The mechanics of our universe are celestial. Everything and everyone in our universe is a part of the oneness that connects us to our origins. Everything is connected, and love is the vibration of creation. We exist in this dimension to experience polarity and free will choice. Experiencing polarity offers each being an opportunity to choose love as opposed to be given it. It is in making this choice to be loving in thought, word, and deed that we unify the polarity within us. And we remember that we are inherently loving beings, loving and benevolent. We are here to share everything, and there is no need to compete for anything. The universe is benevolent with an intelligent source behind all of creation. All of your needs and wants are given with grace when you utilize the law of attraction effectively. Vibration is the key to conscious creation, and consciousness changes physics. Okay, so that's a big statement. I hope that you glean something from that. Okay, of the 4 cycles, here's myth number 2. that genes control your biology, that you are predestined to get sick and fail. There are predators, and you are a victim. In this paradigm, everyone needs a rescue team as they are dissatisfied with their creations. People feel worthless and are unable to fulfill their heart's desires. There is not enough energy to go around. It is necessary to have pharmaceutical drugs to assist us with our health symptoms and challenges. It is common to go to a doctor and expect a solution or a healing. It is accepted to take drugs to soften the symptoms of your illnesses and imbalances. People do not know that they are the creators of their own lives. They do not know how to examine the root causes within them that cause their disease or emotional imbalance. They take drugs as opposed to taking responsibility for healing the actual causes for problems and health issues. So that's a myth, that genes control our biology. You must know now about epigenetics, right? So here's the truth. Your genes are blueprints only. You can rewrite the genetic expression of your life through your own consciousness and change your very DNA by the way you live your life. You control your genetics through life choices of food and environment and your emotional well-being. Only you can determine the state of your genes. Science is labeled this phenomenon and this new science as epigenetics. Science is proving that your genes are a mirror for how you live your life. Science has now proven that there are 38,000 possible outcomes for each gene. Wow. So I'm living in this truth now as I'm working with the dolphins who teach us that they are the epigeneticists of the world. They have the ability to change your DNA with your permission, of course. They can't do anything if you don't let them, but that's their gift. And they do it through their amazing, they call it sonogenetics, through the sonar that they have and their ability to make adjustments through high-pitched sounds into your body using the power really and the vibration of joy to do it. So very excited about that. Part of our school. Okay, 4 life cycles. Here's number 3. Myth number 3. Evolution is random. The perception of evolution has 2 parts. Part 1 is referring to the belief that your cells randomly mutate and the way your body reproduces itself through cell divisions is random, as opposed to organized. As an example, this myth implies that you can simply manifest cancer and have nothing to do with it. The manifestation of disease or imbalance is random, and you just have to take your chances. Part 2 is referring to that which is known as natural selection. The belief says that only the strong survive, and is referred to as survival of the fittest as the current way of life. All of that, of course, being a myth, an untruth. Here is the real truth. Your body is an organized and benevolent community of 30 trillion cells. They are self-organizing, self-healing, and are completely aware of themselves and their life force. They are sentient. They understand how to work together in harmony to create well-being and health. Each cell is an extension of consciousness and responds directly to the vibration of happiness and joy, harmony and peace. Evolution is not random, but organized at the subatomic level. The universe is designed to be completely sustainable and functional through cycles that evolve in consciousness and expansion. The universe and all life is designed to adapt and grow and change and expand in an ever-changing environment. A solution to every challenge is naturally programmed into the life cycle of every being. Evolution is consciousness in motion. Yay. Yeah, body is amazing. Myth number 4. There will always be a winner and a loser. We are destined to fight for everything. The world is polarized, and there is a positive and a negative side to everything. Everyone cannot win. Everyone cannot be successful because there is not enough resources to go around. That is a myth. The truth is, our evolution is based on how our species choose to cooperate. The power of our evolution is reflected in how we create our own communities and how we live in harmony and integrity. Our life force and our well-being is directly connected to nature and to the planet herself. We can heal and balance ourselves in our relationships when we make a conscious choice to connect to nature and all that is naturally provided for us. Nature and source are the same. and we are not separate from them. Very nice. So I'm going to stop the PowerPoint here. Come back to you guys for a moment and see if you guys have any comments or questions on what we've shared. And hopefully it's opened you up a bit more to this word we call conscious creation, which is the alignment with your soul. Anybody? How are we doing? Jean?
This is great work. I still feel there's so much to absorb.
Yes.
A lot to absorb. It's great stuff. Earlier, you mentioned a reset with the whole coronavirus.
Yes.
I understand what I think you mean by reset, but can you talk a little bit more about that? It feels like
Sure.
it's so multidimensional about what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can speak to the multidimensionality of it, even though that's a word that I think we're beginning to glean, meaning what that would really mean is that we know, even if we can't make it conscious yet, that we exist in many places at the same time, in many realms and forms. And I was working with Seth just this afternoon on this class, and I asked her if we could do some teachings on dimensions. She said maybe. So the fact that you're asking that question means probably we should at least bring into that. I can't do, obviously, everything I'd like to do in 4 weeks, but that teaching to me is powerful to understand that the different planets and the different, star family and all of that, this that we talk about is part of our soul evolution now, is to remember that, is to understand how we've come here. And I have a nice PowerPoint on that too. So I'm going to just put that on the table and we'll see how that plays out if you guys would like to see that later. But to understand a reset, the world, let's just get 3D for a minute. 3D means we're polarized. That means that there's a right and a wrong, and a higher energy on the planet to choose from, and then a lower energy, being a lot of people making poor choices have created pollution in our way of being, which is this competing to survive. It still exists on the planet, not in every way, but in many ways it does. And I think the easiest way to explain the reset is, I think you can look anywhere now on the news or pictures. You can look at the satellite pictures of the planet and see the smog that's lifted off, and see, like, people have been sending me pictures of the dolphins back in the canals in Venice, and swans swimming in the waters again. And those waters were so filthy and dirty just a few weeks ago. It doesn't take long for nature to reset itself, and I think we're proving that by being forced to stay home and not drive our cars and not run the big factories, and we're seeing, it's right there, we're seeing the world shift and adjust and change and reset itself back to what it potentially could be, which is clean, because we're taking too long. I really think after this is over, the things that have been blocked, maybe through what people would call the deep state or the secret governments, whatever, the cabal, there's a lot of names for them, the dark forces that still exist on the planet, that I think a lot of that is just absolutely being shut down right now. And I think that the opportunities for people to bring forth the natural ways of living, including solar power and clean energy, have been blocked. Those patents have been blocked for us to have a way that nature could reset itself and we could live in a clean environment. In my world, of course, I know I'm out in the future somewhere. It's just where I live, and I'm on the cutting edge with the whales. But the whales have proven that they can do anything. They really, they're deities. They literally have almost unlimited power to heal us. But they can't touch you if you don't believe it. You see, if your belief system won't open to this great, vast being that's been in the oceans for millions of years, then they can't help you because they don't have permission. So what that should tell you is that you have huge power through your permission. Through you giving permission to participate in something, or to have an opinion about something, or to take action with something, that moves the God within you into a place where things can really happen. And you have to stop and think, where has everybody been operating from with their God selves? And are they even aware that they have a God self? You see, so it's bringing us into a reset where conscious connection can come back in, and people are looking around. I don't know about you, I have so many emails. Thank you for all emailing me, but it's hard to read them all because people are at home having a chance to reflect on, oh my God, consciousness is real. This is basically what they're saying. They're having a new opinion about everything. And they don't want to go back and do it the old way. They don't want to go back to a job they don't like. They don't want to drive their car 2 hours a day on a freeway, So everywhere we look, we're seeing people have opinions about how much better it could be now that they've had time to stop and think about it. Is that helpful as far as describing the reset? I think it's happening in many levels. You know, it'll happen through the government, of course. It's happening in education systems. I think probably the most important thing that I'm happy about, though, is happening in people's homes, one by one, heart by heart, one heart at a time. People are starting to look at it all differently and have a different opinion. And just that alone changes what I call coherence. You know, if anybody studied heart math, you realize that the coherence of your heart is the vibration and the power that you have between the love that's within you and that you're pushing out into the world can be measured. And it's called coherence. So people are starting to be nicer, you know, be kinder. And I'm sure there are people that are just immersed in fear. Maybe they've seen someone die, or they don't understand that, you know, what we're going to call death being a soul choice, as opposed to something that they can control or something random. It's not. It's not. And I have to say, it's might rattle some of your boats, but there are a lot of people that are ready to leave right now. A lot of people, they're just done. They're not probably going to wake up or come around. So they're choosing in their higher self, their soul, to use this as an exit vehicle. And I don't think there's anything at all wrong with that. I think if that's what they want to do, that's what they should do. The soul chooses the birth and the death and everything in between too. So let's have, you guys are awfully quiet. I know that we've done a lot of material though tonight. So, but if you have a comment or a question, this is a good time. In a few minutes. Love to hear from you. I'm going to pick on Jean. How did that feel to you? Or do you have any other questions?
A part of me feels as though a lot of people are choosing to exit. I almost feel like the earth is going to shift or is shifting.
Right.
And a lot of people have decided, okay, I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm going to leave. And in a way, I almost sense that they're leaving maybe so they can reincarnate very quickly.
Absolutely.
They're reincarnating to a higher vibration because we're after 2012, and that might help uplift the planet.
Absolutely. Right. I'm sure many of them will reincarnate and come in as these beautiful crystal children, as Pooja would say, with their DNA, you know, the volume turned up where they can hear. I don't know about you, but I've just met so many kids, and I know there's so many I haven't met that have so many abilities that they're doing what we call download, really. They're just downloading information from the universe. They don't have to study, they don't have to go to school. They already know math, you know, they're just getting it. And the way the animals get it, think of a dog or a cat or even a horse having, you know, a baby, and how they just get up in just a few weeks and walk and talk and navigate the planet. You know, they don't have to go to school. They don't have to burn their finger, so to speak, to get it. They just know how to do it. Well, that's our evolution. We're coming into that vibration too, where the children will intuitively know who they are, where they're from, what they're here to do. They won't have all the blocks. That's part of the awakening process. And when we agreed to come here, however, whenever you agreed to come here, eons ago probably, you knew that would be the ultimate lifetime. The lifetime that would be special, or the lifetimes that would be special, would be during the awakening. And that when we would let go of the old negativity and heal ourselves. But I also know there are a lot of people, and we don't have to call out names, but that are, they're complete. You know, they've had the experience that they want to have. And maybe that wasn't negativity, or maybe it was to create a foundation of belief systems that would catalyze the next generation, being their children, to take a look at that and go, wait a minute, I don't, like we just talked about, the evolution and the myths. I grew up in Nebraska where people believed, you know, if your mom and dad had heart disease, you're going to die of heart disease. And that was just a given. You can just expect that. And that life is hard. It's not going to be easy. No one's going to help you. That's all a lie. We were taught so many lies. To this day, you could walk in right here in California into a doctor's office, sit down, they're going to give you a clipboard, and they're going to ask you about your family history, because they believe it makes a difference. It doesn't, unless you believe it does. I mean, we have proof of that now with epigenetics. I can sit right here in my house and look at Pooja sitting here on the chair next to me, and she can just sit here and she just changes her eye color just for fun. You know, like today they're blue or tomorrow they're green. That's just, I mean, because she can. Wouldn't that be fun if we could wake up in the morning and decide what our eyes are going to look like today? Shift our DNA over a little bit? How many believe that's possible? I don't know if I would have believed it until I'd seen it, you know. And then we've got pictures over in the movie where one eye's blue and one eye's green. Her eyes aren't, her, in her natural state, they're gold. They're not even those colors. So, I mean, we have to look at that, you know. I was reading Abraham book just recently, and Abraham, and one of the quotes was, somebody said, well, how come the starfish can regenerate, you know, if one of their arms falls off and yours can't? And Abraham said, yours can too. You just don't believe it. You've never, because no one's doing it. So you don't believe that you can regenerate an arm, but you absolutely can. So I think our belief systems have to continue to expand so that we can embrace that. That we don't think of it as weird, you know. What do you guys think? Come on, somebody must have a comment. There's a whole bunch of you here. The quietest class. Anyway, I hope you're I hope you're processing. How about you, Helen? Are you there?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to unmute.
Pick on people I can say, what do you think?
Because this was fabulous, as usual.
Good.
Super
Food for thought, right?
for the virus deal that you're doing on Saturday or Sunday, whatever, the Shield. Feeling really, really calm right now with all the chaos that's going on around me, because this is the time we've been waiting for, I really think. Trying not to be insensitive
Right.
to what other people are going through, but still, I almost want to say super excited about what's happening without sounding, you know, I mean, I know that sounds terrible, but I don't know. It's really,
I don't think it sounds terrible.
really comes from, that's how I feel from my heart. I'm like, you know, this is really going to be cool. And, you know, the more we talk about it, the more we learn, the more questions it brings up, but it's also, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and you're here helping us with, you know, as Jean has, we have questions. Yeah, I could listen to you talk about this whole thing with Poot. I'm sure all of us are saying the same thing. Just tell us more, Lori. Tell us more.
Okay. All right.
But-
I will. I'm going to complete this next little 4 stages to know the divinity within you through human evolution. And it's been part of the Well School, so I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to open up to what I've been working on for 4 or 5 days now, and I'll show it to you because it is pretty exciting. It's probably one of the most exciting things I think that has happened in my life, and I really do want to show it to you. Okay.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So as part of the classwork, this is part of our document here. 4 stages to know that you are God, that you are divinity, okay, through human evolution. Okay, so first, think of it like a box, okay, 4 boxes. Box number 1, you are separate from source. There is no God. You are separate from everyone and you are alone. Atheism is an example of this. There is only one life and you randomly appeared here as a human. There is no afterlife. This is it, okay? I don't know if you know people like that. Fortunately, I didn't experience that in this life, but I know people who are there and they absolutely believe this is it. So, okay, number 2, God in a box. There is a God or a creator, and that being or consciousness is to be worshiped. God is all powerful and you are not. You must bow down and pray and worship as humble, meek, and unworthy small beings, asking for intention, intervention, and help with manifesting. Okay? So I have to say I was raised in that box. And I don't mean any disrespect to anybody that knew me when I was living in Nebraska growing up. It's a very religious community. It's very much a religious teaching that we have to worship God. Now I don't have that experience at all with God, but I feel it's relevant. Number 3, you are a co-creator with God. You discover your divine power and your worthiness, and you partner with God in the universal law of attraction. You communicate with God, Creator, Spirit, and you view your life as a partnership with the divine. So I'd like to say, I hope everybody in this class is there. If not, I hope you get there soon. I hope that you alter your belief system to see yourself as worthy and a partner with God, as opposed to a meek, unworthy being that must worship God. I hope so. Okay. Number 4, you become a self-realized piece of God. You know you are God. and the creator is a part of you. You choose to activate your natural gifts and use them in accordance with love. That would be example would be ascension, bilocation, spontaneous healing, and morphing your form. So those types of gifts, Master Pruta would tell you that you'd have to activate enough of your DNA to make that physically possible. It's sort of like you'd have to have the engine installed, right? To do that, because people will call me and they'll say, well, how come I can't bilocate, or how come I can't, experience myself through time travel or all of that? And I say, well, I don't have the answer for you specifically until I get to know you a little bit, but it's always vibration. It's always vibration. And the evolution of your vibration is your choice. That's how you can't just sit down and manifest something if you don't have the vibration to lift it up to the rocket fuel, so to speak. And we've already talked about what the rocket fuel is. It's living in the heart, and it's joy, and it's confidence, and it's absolute unwavering faith in your ability to communicate with spirit. And then activating that. So next week, we're going to talk a lot about how to activate deeper levels of communication, which is connecting the heart to the third eye. The third eye is that organ that makes this happen. So if you're using, let's say, fluoride toothpaste, and you're drinking, water that's got calcium in it and toxic food, your third eye probably isn't working just from the food and the drink alone that you're getting. A little organ that's located in between the two halves of your brain, and it needs very much to be nourished and very much to be activated and used each and every day. And some people go through, I have to think of my soul sister, who I always consider one of the most evolved people on the planet. But after getting to know her and us traveling together and working together, studying together, there was a time, and it was probably at least 2 years after we learned these teachings with the Peniel from Drunvalo Melchizedek, studying the flower of life, right? That she was able to activate her third eye and see what we call the green light that's around us. When we move into manifestation, it's alpha waves, and the whole room turns bright green. It's like a lime green. And it's one of the things I can teach you. But she did not actually see that green light, even doing the processes that I thought all along she was seeing, because I was seeing the green light even before I met Drunvalo. So I was born with that ability. I must have done something right in a previous life. I don't know. Anyway, it works for me. And so I will tell people, I don't know how long it will take to activate your third eye, but I will tell you it will happen. It absolutely will happen. I know I've worked with a couple thousand people in the last 8 years, helping them activate what I call telepathy, which is clear hearing. Along the way, some people get clear seeing or clear feeling, but I will say most people have already probably as good of clairsentience or better than I have, because I was born with clairvoyance, and then I developed my clairaudience that I never really worked with my clairsentience. I have to still stop myself because I'm going pretty fast in my energy field to stop and feel. And that's the same thing I'm teaching you, to stop and feel. What does it feel like? As opposed to just go on ahead because I'm hearing so much information that gives me research that allows me to make decisions to go ahead, sometimes without feeling. Just do it, And I'm not certain that's something I would teach you. I would teach you to do both, really, to be a good listener, but also to be a good feeler. Make a decision after you have both. But both are reliant on the third eye. Both are part of that teaching. And so I'm just here to say everybody can do it. If you sit down and you meditate and you try 3 or 4 times and you find yourself moving into negativity, then get up. That's enough meditation. Because if you're expecting a result, you're blocking a result. It has to come spontaneously. It has to come naturally. And there's nothing spirit likes more than to surprise you. They love to surprise you. But if you're holding them, like a cross right here, you have to make this happen right now. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. They're out. They left the room. Okay, because you're not joyful. One of the metaphors Pruta likes to teach from is AM and FM radio. So AM radio is a certain vibration, a certain harmony, a certain frequency. That's a mechanical, scientific fact. Okay, FM's up here. It's a higher frequency, different. You can't listen to AM and FM at the same time. They're completely different. So let's say the Earth is on AM and the guides and angels are on FM. So you see the difference? You're going to have to tune up to that frequency, and you're going to have to figure it out. It takes practice. Sometimes I can't tell you how long it'll take you because I don't know how much joy you're feeling. Only you know what you're feeling in your heart, where the joy is, and the happy and the fun and the I feel good about life. Okay, so all of that is part of the teaching in this class, and I'm here, and Pooja's here. She's so cute. We're here to support you in that and help you go through it. I'm very patient. Great partner. Okay, so unless there's a question about what we just said and we read with the 4 stages of getting to know yourself as God, I'll go ahead and I'll talk a little bit about what the whales have been sharing with me and what you can expect if you decide to do one of the healings. I'm anticipating, without knowing, that we'll probably do 2 a week for some time, and probably I'll get involved with some other organizations too, like Jennifer McLean and the different producers I have. But the first week I want to do it on my own, and I can only take 100 people at a time. So, and I don't even know if I'll have 100 people. I think we've got about 20 or 30 tonight. And this is just the first day I've released it, but my Zoom room only will allow 100 people. But I know it's going to go to thousands. I just got to figure out how that's going to happen. So the first people that register to do this work will be the test subjects. So let's go to share the screen. And I'll open up to it here. Or if I put it in this folder. Okay, I'm drawing a blank. It's not here. Where is it? Let's try this folder. Okay. Sorry about this. Just give me a minute. When I find it, it'll make sense.
Lori, while you're doing that, I have a quick question. This is Janice. You're talking about the
Yeah, I'm not talking about the whale healing and what they've shared with me.
right. You were talking about the third eye. How is what we're learning in this class going to be different, or is it different than the one class that you have for
The
opening?
class that I have coming up, I think it's the end of March. It's called Activating the Third Eye. It's going to be very detailed, and I'm going to go into specific processes that take a while to teach. One of them takes about an hour and a half to teach on the 8 beams of light, and some other processes. In this class, we'll touch on next week some teachings on the pineal gland, but it's not going to be anywhere near as detailed as that one specific class, okay? So I can share more on that one. Okay, here we go. This is what they've said. It's called the Coronavirus Healing and Immunity Shield from the white whales. And this is all done through light, of course, and multidimensional experiences of magnetism. And I'll share some of it here. So what if you knew you did not have to go to battle with the coronavirus? What if there was a way to live peacefully now without fear, knowing that the coronavirus has no power over you? So, and maybe you already know this, but your immune system is a direct reflection of your consciousness, right? I mean, you have to know people that are having a benevolent countenance, you know, and they eat well and they sleep well and they live a happy life. They don't get sick because their immune system is functioning at optimal levels. So this is partially connected to that, but it's connected even to surrendering to a multidimensional being that has godlike powers that that you don't have. And even in the highest vibrational day, you're not going to have the power the whales have. I'm sorry, you're just not. We don't have this kind of power as humans. So experience a personal healing and create a shield of light and immunity. And you have to understand this is not coming from me. This is coming from them. I'm simply telepathic. I'm their voice. And I've worked for many years to be able to hold their vibration when they're in the room. And some of you that have been in whale school know that. That takes practice so they don't blow your circuits, basically. The whales are the elders of this planet, and they are our galactic ancestors. They are stewards for humanity. And they have both permission from Source and the ability to disable this coronavirus and help you create a shield of light and immunity. They are seeking to connect with you now, offering you the opportunity to receive at the highest level. So the whales ask everyone to go within to your heart to remember your connection to the ancient whale family. We are all connected, and they are truly a part of your star family. They are Sirian, just so you know, in this lifetime. Incarnating on the earth eons before humanity arrived, they have the ability to assist humanity with core level healing, and they are here offering a specific energy light meditation, transformational healing alignment. And this is different than the ones, if you've been doing whale healing with me, this is different. Similar, but different. It's more focused. The coronavirus is here, and the fear of contracting this disease has gone around the world very quickly. The Great Wells have shared with me that they would like to offer a healing and alignment session for everyone who is interested in creating a shield of light and immunity. So this part talks about me. I've witnessed thousands of whale healings since I've chosen to partner with the whales, 19 years. 3 years ago, I co-created the Whale and Dolphin Energy Light Medicine School, where we train others to facilitate healing sessions with the great whales. Basically, I am the voice for the great whales, and I've been trained to listen by them, and this is how this has come about. Last week, the whales shared that they can help people who want to raise their vibration to avoid the coronavirus. The whales are offering a sacred healing alignment session where they will create a sacred healing field around you, placing you in a golden orb of light that will function as a shield regarding the coronavirus. They can also heal those of you that have already contracted the virus and move you into a higher vibrational place where that virus will be disabled and non-functional, which is very good news. For those who might not know, the whales are the elders of our planet, some 300 million years of experience. They have shared with me that they are stewards for humanity, and they always have been. They have amazing healing abilities, and they sing the songs of creation. I've been working with the great humpback whales for 19 years and have embraced the purpose and mission of the white whales, who returned to Earth in March 2012. They are basically cosmic creators. I have promised to be their voice and help actualize their healing abilities for thousands of people who chose to open their hearts to receive these alignments. So, however, never before have we specifically worked together to disable a virus. The whales have shown me a process to summon them etherically. They have said they will answer the call to come to specific homes and people who ask for their help, and they will disable the virus if it is present. They will also create this shield of light, and they showed me how it looks. It's the best I could see. It's all gold light that will create an instant immunity to the virus. The virus will be repelled with this harmonic and the new resonant shield of light. The virus will then be harmless to those who choose to upgrade their physical vehicles with the assistance of the whales. This entire healing and transformational experience will take about 90 minutes. These are multidimensional beings that work at the quantum level. Once they are given permission from the human, they coordinate with your soul. They have, this is really specific to know, if someone is exiting the planet, their soul has called them home, they're not going to help that person. They're going to honor the teachings of the soul. They're not going to go and do something your soul doesn't want you to have, okay? They have the ability to work with our human day, accessing oscillating photonic source light for our healing alignments. And there's some magnetism to how this is done. The process of creating a light body for a human involves working with the crystalline molecule to create and encode a 0-point energy field. 0 point is the underlying energetic of absolute interconnected stillness. 0 point is the presence of all that is infinite and neutral. From this place, you are offered a boundless state of possibility, and you can step out of duality and false realities. Well, sickness is a false reality. It's not the true reality. So from the whales, we are witnessing a pivotal time in history where one civilization is dissolving and a new world paradigm is being birthed alive. If you sense the world as you know it is changing, it truly is. Beloved ones, this time period is destined to be a reset for everyone. It's time to further awaken and expand your perceptions and belief systems. Part of this is remembering that you are not alone in this challenge and that you have great support available to you. So we, the whales, join together and stand in the 0-point field of creation where our presence ignites the quantum possibilities. We can apply this energy to help humanity materialize their visions and intentions for a new earth. We are the alchemists, initiating new consciousness codes and templates for a 5D hologram. Right now, you guys know we're living in 3D hologram. This is our gift to Gaia and to humanity. This is how we will fulfill our soul's mission. We are transmitters and receivers of light, and we are in service to you. So, part of what we learned tonight, remember to move into your hearts and open to the flow of solution energy that is perfect and right for you. Our message is to offer you a merger of the highest light during this time of great challenge. If you choose to partner with us for your own healing and vibrational upgrade, you will receive powerful infusions of light that will greatly assist you in facing your challenges. And then they say, the woman, Lori Rion, that's me, will be working closely with us to offer you opportunities to join the whales to heal your body and create a sacred shield of light. Okay. So we have one coming up Wednesday at 4 and Sunday the 11th at 1. And it's $22. Okay. I like the way they wrote that. I really do. Sometimes, you have to go back and read what you wrote because you didn't really write it. Someone else did. Kind of cool. All right. So Puda would like to say a prayer. Any comments or questions about what we did tonight and sort of what the assignment is? Hey, there's another kitty. Hey. Oh, gorgeous you are. What would we do without our kitties? So I want to thank you for your attention and for opening your heart to come to this class so we can work with that soulic energy and get more aligned and in touch with it. You can go to bed at night and you can say, what does my soul want? Wake up in the morning, what does my soul want? Opening that communication up. So we're going to close our class tonight with a beautiful prayer for Buddha and her crystals. And she says, I pray that each human will open to the light of their source in this lifetime. I pray that each human will open their heart and know how truly loved and supported they are during their earth experience. I pray that each human will open to receive the many gifts from Creator Source that are theirs to claim when you truly know that you are a divine creator. I pray that each human comes to know the support and guidance that is given to them when they are born for their entire life. I pray that each human remembers that they are truly unique and special and eternally loved. I pray that each human comes to know and remember that love is all there truly is, and that your human earth life is the playground that you have asked for, to be love in all of the ways that you can imagine and create. So thank you, everybody. Much love. Mwah. Blessings to all of you. Same time next week. And I'm sure if all of this goes well, we're all going to see a big shift in our hearts and in our consciousness and the world around us as we use this love we speak of to make a difference. There's never been a better time than now to make a difference. So we close the sacred space with reverence and honor and humility. Let's all say the words together. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Our sacred space is closed for April 2nd in our soul alignment class. Namaste. Hope to see you all soon.